You just heard David Knight in the first hour, traffic copping some of the special reports we shot last night dealing with the bombshell information that we've received from people in the local area, photos, video, you name it, confirmed by government documents and by the training center's own promotional videos, that regular Army, the Enda Posse Comitatus, is training basically to target, well, black people. Because everyone in their video and other videos we have are black in multiple training operations. Now, again, they've had other training missions where they say the new terrorists are the domestic Tea Party in training videos. And we made a big deal about that a few years ago because they were all white. And they said, basically in those manuals, that it's white people we're worried about. So Jack Sprat could eat no fat, his wife could eat no lean. Between the two of them, they licked the platter clean. But they always sell it like, we're going to target this group. We're going to target that group. But when you get down to the end of the road, they're targeting everybody. But under Rex 84, they use civil unrest, collapse the border, to bring in permanent martial law, suspension of the Constitution. But they will target, quote, inner city minorities that are seen as poor and on welfare and who is believed will blow up and riot if their welfare checks don't come. You know, that's always been pushed and sold, and it's probably true to a certain extent. But again, then they create an economic climate so that that happens. And then the military is actually needed to come in because things do break down. But the larger issue is who triggered the crisis to begin with to allow it to happen. The political class will not get away with this if we have a debate about it right now and show the fact that they open the borders, they advertise to bring the illegals in. This is a staged provocation, a false flag. That's why we harp on that so much. Obviously, the big news just breaking in the last 20 minutes or so. Ukraine advisor, Malaysian airline jet shot down by missile near Ukraine-Russia border. That's CBS News. And they're already trying to blame the Russians. Ukraine, Russian rocket may have downed military plane. CBS News, a Ukrainian military transport plane was shot down. But that was a separate plane that was shot down on Monday. This, the Ukrainian official says today, is a passenger liner from Malaysia with 295 people on board, believed to all be dead. And there's amazing film footage, news footage already of the wreckage and the smoke on the horizon there near the Russian border. This is not the Malaysian flight that's been dominating news for 6 months or whatever it is that disappeared somewhere in the Pacific. Clearly a cover-up there. No, this is another Malaysian flight. This is getting very, very bizarre, very, very suspicious is all I can say. And it's too early to be able to speculate, but the FAA has now put out a worldwide alert to aircraft flying out of the United States and North America into the Caucasus, not just Ukraine, that entire area. FAA has warned airlines to avoid Crimea because of conflict. Need to go over what we know. A Ukrainian official said a passenger plane carrying 295 people was shot down Thursday over a town in the east of the country. And Malaysia Airlines tweeted that it had lost connection with one of its flights over Ukraine airspace. And again, the latest is they've confirmed it did indeed go down. A source told Interfax that the plane began to drop afterwards and was found burning on the ground on Ukrainian territory. The plane was flying from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur before it went down, according to Reuters. I think it's safe to say I'm not going to be getting on any Malaysian Airlines anytime soon. Very tragic. Malaysian Airliner, again, down in Ukraine with 295 aboard. A Malaysian Airlines Boeing 777. That's a big one, en route from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur. 295 souls on board. Crashed Thursday in Ukraine near the Russian border after reportedly being hit by a missile. Remember how our government gave 15,000 heat-seeking missiles, anti-aircraft missiles, to al-Qaeda? I'm not saying al-Qaeda did this, but this is just a taste of things to come. According to an advisor to the Ukrainian Interior Ministry, Malaysian Airlines confirmed on its Facebook page that Ukrainian air traffic control lost contact with flight MH17 about 30 miles from the Russian-Ukraine border. The airline said the plane was carrying 280 passengers and 15 crew members. Now, the Russians have moved in special ops, and they pretty much admitted that now, and are shooting down helicopters and Ukrainian military NATO aircraft. That's what they are. Russia said a few days ago they may start targeted strikes inside the country after they were shelled. This could be Russia basically engaged in friendly fire or shooting innocents, collateral damage. But knowing the false flag activities of the globalists, what they've been up to, the lies they've been putting out over there, I would lean towards the fact that this is right on the border with Russia, that Ukraine or a NATO op would shoot this down to create a new way to demonize Russia and as a pretext to escalate the war there. So this is getting really serious. I don't know at this point, but Russia's been trying to de-escalate things while the West that started this whole thing, don't forget that, and overthrew the elected government, has been destabilizing. Who's running al-Qaeda and ISIS into the whole Middle East? Globalist. Who's shutting off our power plants? Globalist. Who's going after our guns? Globalist. Who's opening our borders? Globalist. I mean, Kurt Newman wrote an article 2 days ago where it's George Soros admitting he's behind the open border move and the illegals pouring in. Admitting he's behind Ukraine, saying, I did it. Which I think he's taking too much credit. He's a big part of it. Saying they're part of the Arab Spring and turning loose all these groups. That it's, I mean, on every front, George Soros. So I'm not lionizing or deifying Pootie Poot, as Bush called him. I am simply pointing out that this is all very, 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 very suspicious. And it's just par for the course. Malaysian Airliner down in Ukraine with 295 on board. And the crew just put up on TV screen of your TV viewer more from the Malaysian Airlines Facebook with the new announcement. Perhaps we can put that back up and I can read from that. But we'll continue to give you updates today as all of this unfolds. We do have Joel Gilbert coming on to talk about Obama's plan to wreck the country and a new film he has. And I'm tempted to move him, though, because there's so much news. But I think we'll just go ahead and follow through with the interview. Malaysian Airlines confirms it received notification from Ukrainian ATC that it had lost contact with flight MH17 at 14:15 Greenwich Mean Time, or Imperial British Time, at 30 kilometers from Tomka Waypoint, approximately 50 kilometers from the Russian-Ukraine border. So that's pretty far inside Ukraine. Flight MH17 operated by Boeing 777. You know, I find it hard to believe that. Here's why I think it leans towards Ukraine and NATO. The Russians don't stand to gain shooting down an aircraft like this in broad daylight. It will be blamed on them regardless. And I don't believe that the Russian military would mistake a giant passenger jet on a scheduled flight and shoot it down. And you notice Ukraine within, I've got the timestamp here, within a minute or two of this break-in 30 minutes ago. Within a minute or two. Within a minute or two. They had already come out and said they think it's Russia. And last time I checked, Russia is saying they don't know. Boeing 777 traveling from Amsterdam with 295 on board. Malaysian Airlines lost connection with flight. Report, man was flying report was flying 33,000 feet when hit by a missile fired from BUK launcher. Crashed 35 miles from Russian border. Body parts found scattered. Video, photos, updates. That's from drudgereport.com. We've got all the same links and updates on Infowars.com. We're going to create a Ukraine passenger shoot-down page on Infowars.com right now and put all these links in there as well. But it's been shot down, and this will become a whole new distraction about the war. It'll be, whoever's behind this deserves to be attacked. And, of course, our media will say it's the Russians. And now this will distract from the medical breakdown on the border. Gallup poll showing that illegals are the top problem, citizens say. National poll, the majority say send them home now. Report, Obama vows to reduce deportations in the face of the people. And Pelosi says, yeah, slow the deportations down even faster, and the feds are releasing children into unsafe homes. DHS parents give kids birth control in case they're raped along the way.
Got an idea, I'm gonna go there since they're all over.
Yeah, folks, we border Latin America, and we've got our reporters down in South Texas at that resort that the media was talking about where they were going to store all the kids, and the website and the photos look like a great place. Well, our reporters got there last night, and their reservation was canceled, and they said, we don't want media here talking about what's going on with this, quote, Baptist church charity that it turns out just is Baptist in name and is basically like a giant CPS child orphanage system. And we've now got footage of the facility. It's got a lot of nice amenities, but it's not been upkept. So it is not as luxurious as press reports were saying. And there are people staying there, contractors and others, but it does have barber shops and $1,000 a day meeting rooms. But the facility has definitely seen its heyday. But I'll tell you one thing, it's a lot better than what the veterans are getting and what the troops stay in. And the larger issue is the $50+ million contract that the government was going to give this charity, and they've claimed that it's backing out now. That's a tactic we see till a story goes away and then the contract comes back. And we're going to investigate this charity. We're looking into it. But, man, it's the Baptist. It's the Catholic Church. It's basically, these are all businesses now. It's got hot tubs, swimming pools, you name it. Free luxury resort for illegals has 100,000 rooms, $1,000 rooms for rent. Obama administration funds hotel for undocumented immigrants. Notice how even InfoWars used the quasi-politically correct thing, undocumented immigrants. First, it's illegal alien. Then it's undocumented worker or undocumented migrant. Now it's, don't even say migrant. Just say unaccompanied child. Like when you were a kid and get put on Southwest Airlines to go see grandma and mom would wave at you and daddy wave at you. You get on the plane and fly down. The issue is they are advertising that people need to come to this country, and compared to Guatemala, Nicaragua, El Salvador, and Venezuela and the rest of it, these are absolutely, totally, and completely nice facilities. And they're all getting health care. I just want to illustrate the preferential treatment and the discrimination. It's not even a reflection on these people. I don't blame them. They're being used as a pawn. But Joe Biggs in our office, combat veteran, blown up repeatedly in armored vehicles, shrapnel, shot, all of it, literally has to end up going and paying for his own health care at the hospital because he coughs up blood from being inside a burning vehicle. That other veteran we had in here, who's, I forget his name, his arm blown off, face pretty much blown away, Mario Lopez. Yeah, he coughs up blood. It burned his insides as well. And I mean, I've been out on the lake with Joe Biggs. I mean, I've seen him with his shirt off, and he's got holes all over him. And the whole point is he cannot get in. And they get there, and they look at him, and they go, okay, we're going to set you up another meeting 2 weeks from now. And he comes in a few weeks later. They go, all right, come back in for another meeting. He's on a death panel list, ladies and gentlemen. You understand? It's on purpose. They got a brand new facility, plenty of people. He's not getting the health care. Now, if you fit the right psych profile and you play along with the system and you were some desk jockey and they're not scared of you, you get great health care. But you're a combat vet, ladies and gentlemen. Unless you get in part of some wounded warrior program and get separate health care, you're not getting jack squat. I know with Lopez, he said it was some private groups and others that helped him get, his robotic arm and the rest of it. Got a robot arm. And it just shows how much they hate veterans, ladies and gentlemen. The criminals that have hijacked this government. There it is. After 5 years in captivity, Bo Bergdahl to start work at Army Post. Bo's just fine now. Do you buy any of this? Alex Jones here to break down some exciting developments in the area of research concerning supplemental iodine. It's nothing less than phenomenal. I began to get into iodine a few years ago because it was helping me and my family so much get healthy and detoxify. And I used some of the mainline iodine supplements and they upset my stomach and I had some issues with it. Until I discovered a product being developed by Dr. Group, who I was already interviewing as an expert on my radio show, and I began taking the product before he actually rolled it out. You now know it as Survival Shield True Nascent Iodine that your body can really absorb. Then, about a year ago, he said, listen, if you think this is powerful, I'm going to come out with rare earth, deep earth crystals that are incredibly powerful that no one else has as a source for their iodine from between 7,000 and 12,000 feet, literally drilled out of the ground. You put it on a hot plate and it turns into the pure gas. No one else has 99.99% pure iodine. And the results that I personally have had have been life-changing. I was over 270 pounds. And with the iodine, exercise, and better diet, I have lost now more than 50 pounds total, and I'm continuing to lose the weight. I have more energy, my libido, all this crap came out of my skin. I believe our research is conclusive. This is the best iodine out there. And I know this for a fact. Nobody else has got iodine based on these pure crystals, ladies and gentlemen. This is innovating. This is trailblazing. And the best part is it helps fund Infowars.com, the radio show, the TV show, the whole media operation promoting true libertarian ideas. For a limited time, experience the ancient power of Survival Shield X2. Take advantage of this unprecedented 30% off Super Detox special at InfoWarsLife.com.